Hi everybody! With the Switch 2 Direct coming up in less than a week, I kind of just wanted to talk about what I think we could see there. You may have noticed that we did get a Switch 1 Direct earlier today as of recording, but that was kind of just the Direct of all time. It was very whatever in my opinion. Yeah, Tomodachi Life and Rhythm Heaven are cool. I'm just not really into them. But anyway, that kind of means that was kind of it. So that leaves a lot of room for new stuff on the table. And I just wanted to talk about the games that we could see. Now a lot of people seem to be going, oh man, I just want to see this. So I want to see this franchise and this franchise. I just kind of want to see what each of the teams could be working on, and if they're at a point where we could see what they're at. I have Wikipedia has a sort of list of every team that works with Nintendo. So I'm just gonna go over them all and see what they have. So Nintendo EPD, Entertainment Planning and Development. Yeah, that's what it's called. They're structured into 10 different groups. And now a few of those, some of those groups 1 and 2 are sort of combined. Group 6 and 7 are all just work with some of the second party studios that we will talk about later. So we're kind of in. So we have, other than that, EPD consists of Group 3, which is the 3D Zelda team, and they also partly work on the 2D ones. Group 4, which is the casual games team, so things like Nintendo Switch Sports and Ring Fit Adventure. Group 5, which is Animal Crossing and Splatoon, which that's so strange that they're both run by the same group. I feel like they should just split considering how big they both are. Group 8, which is the 3D Mario team. Group 9, which is the Mario Kart team. And Group 10, which is the 2D Mario and Pikmin team, which is another weird one. There's also a smartphone division, but we're not talking about them because they make stuff for smartphones. So what can we see? We'll start from the top. Tears of the Kingdom, The Legend of Zelda Tears of the Kingdom came out 2 years ago? Not even 2 years ago. So they are absolutely nowhere close to being ready to fully show off the next big Zelda game, especially since they can't just reuse the same world as they did last time. I think Eiji Aonuma did say that they are going to do something different, go to a different place. I really hope that we go some other kingdom. I'm really tired of Hyrule. But anyway, will we see this at the Switch 2 presentation? No. Unless they want to do another thing the GameCube Space World demo, or the Wii U's E3 2011 presentation where they want to have sort of a tech demo thing what they want to do. But that's a bad idea because that always backfires. Because people always get annoyed when it doesn't look like that. After that's Group 4, the casual team. And I think the likelihood of seeing them put out something is actually fairly high, since they tend to put out stuff every 1 to 2 years. And they haven't put out anything since everybody went to Switch. Although they did also co-develop Alarmo. Okay. I don't know if they're making Tomodachi Life. I don't know. But I do think we will see something for them. Maybe a Nintendo Switch Sports sequel, since that did quite well. Maybe a Ring Fit Adventure sequel. That'd be really cool, especially since the Switch 2 Joy-Cons won't be able to fit in the Switch 1 Ring-Con. I should really get back into Ring Fit Adventure. That was really fun when I played it back in 2019. I also need to exercise more anyway. Whatever. Group 5, we're absolutely going to see something from them. Splatoon 3 has kind of been wrapped up for a while, which is still kind of weird. I feel like they could support that game for much longer. Same with Animal Crossing. It's weird. I like Splatoon a lot more than Animal Crossing. It just appeals to me more, but I think they should do Animal Crossing first. I mean, Splatoon's big, but Animal Crossing is huge. Nearly 50 million copies is what New Horizons sold. Jesus Christ. Also, it's only been 10 years since the first Splatoon, and we've already had 3 games, while Animal Crossing tends to go a little slower. And also, there tends to be more difference in it is in Animal Crossing. I would like to see a Splatoon 4. We are going to get a Splatoon 4 at some point. But I want them to do something a little different, since 1, 2, and 3 do kind of blend together. Unless you're super deep into all the mechanics and stuff. But yeah, I think Animal Crossing would be the wiser choice to make, in my opinion. But we could see either. But I think it'll be Animal Crossing. Group 8, yeah, we're gonna see a 3D Mario game. There is no chance that a 3D Mario game is not showing up here. Mario Odyssey's turning 8 this year. Even Bowser's Fury, that little side thing into 3D World, was 4 years ago. They've had plenty of time to do something, and I really hope like it is like sort of an expansion off of what Bowser's Fury did, sort of like a mix between that and Mario Odyssey, maybe with a bit of Galaxy in there as well. I don't know. I don't really want it to be like a sequel to Odyssey. Well, I think that ship has sailed. Same with Galaxy. Group 9, Mario Kart's coming. We know that. Group 10, it's tricky because they make 2D Mario and Pikmin, and we saw both back in 2023. But 2D Mario games probably don't take super duper long to make. So we might see a Mario Maker 3. Especially because like they could just take what they did with 2, add some more stuff on top of that, add like a Mario 2 style, Mario Land style, Mario Wonder style, and you know, add to that mouse functionality, and yeah, that is a lot of Mario though, like at launch. So we're gonna have to see. And moving on to like the subsidiaries, so we have the studios that Nintendo owns. We have 1UP Studio, which co-develops the 3D Mario team. We have iQue, which hasn't really done much of anything since the 3DS. Monolith Soft, Xenoblade. Next Level Games, responsible for Luigi's Mansion, Punch-Out, and Mario Strikers. And Metroid Prime Federation Force, I guess. Nintendo Cube, Mario Party and Clubhouse Games. The European Research and Development, which I think is mostly just the emulation for like Nintendo Switch Online. And Nintendo Pictures, their animation thing. Nintendo Software and Technology, who's responsible for I think F-Zero 99 and the Mario vs. Donkey Kong remake. And Retro Studios. There's also Shiver Entertainment, but they don't have a Wikipedia article. So will we see anything from them? Well, 1UP Studios 3D Mario. Monolith Soft just put out Xenoblade Chronicles Definitive Edition, which I still need to get. We might see a teaser for like that new IP they've been like working on since like 2019. I think that's when the artwork showed up on like their hiring website. It's weird. Where did that go? I know they've been making like Xenoblade. They was making Xenoblade 3 and Future Redeemed, and of course this. We might see a teaser for that. Remember, we got a teaser for Xenoblade X way before that game came out. Like, I think back in 2013. And then it came out in, like, mid to late 2015. Next Level Games, I think they are very likely to show up here. Last game they put out was Mario Strikers Battle League 3 years ago. And that wasn't... that definitely did not take the entire studio to make. So, I think they'll show up here. I don't know if it'll be Luigi's Mansion 4. Again, that's a lot of Mario. If it's going to show up alongside 3D Mario and Mario Kart and maybe Mario Maker 3. I don't know. I really wanted to do a new Punch-Out, but that is not as financially stable an option as like Luigi's Mansion or Mario Strikers. Heck, they could be doing something completely different. They could be making like they could be making a lot. They could make a Star Tropics game. I don't know. Nintendo Cube, they just put out Super Mario Party Jamboree last year. It's not even 6 months old. They can wait. Nintendo Software Technology, they could theoretically do anything. Maybe we could get another Mario vs. Donkey Kong or something. I don't know, maybe another 99 game. Who knows? Retro Studios is working on Metroid Prime 4. We will see Metroid Prime 4 there. The fact that we didn't get a release date or really all too much information during the Switch 1 Direct makes me feel like we're going to see it there, and it'll be a cross-gen game. And now we go to their sort of like affiliates, third-party studios that they sort of contract their like licenses out towards. So there's Bandai Namco, there's Camelot, Mario Tennis, Golf, and Golden Sun. Creatures, who does the models for the Pokemon company. Cygames, this thing like runs Pokemon Pokemon mobile game, same with Dina. Game Freak, Pokemon, Genius Sonority. Oh, they made the Pokemon. They make more Pokemon. There's so much Pokemon all in a row. Good Feel, you know, Yoshi's Woolly and Crafted World, Grezzo, Link's Awakening Remake, and Echoes of Wisdom, and Miitopia. HAL Laboratory, Kirby, Indie Zero. What do they do? Oh, they do like NES Remix, Nintendo World Championships. Oh, they helped out on Kingdom Hearts Melody of Memory and Theater. That's cool. Intelligent Systems, Fire Emblem, Paper Mario, WarioWare. Koei Tecmo helps out on Fire Emblem. It also does the Warriors games. Platinum Games, Bayonetta, Pokemon Company, and Sora Limited, Let's Monster Hero Sakurai. So what can we see? Bandai Namco, there was rumors that they were doing like this Nintendo thing like forever, but I know like apparently one of those projects has been canceled because like Bandai Namco has been laying off people. Don't like that. We'll talk about Smash later. I just don't want to. I'm putting off talking about Smash. Camelot. They're doing that Everybody's Golf game, which is multi-plat. Because yes, Camelot makes the Everybody's Golf games for PlayStation. And they made the first one actually before they made the first Mario Golf. That being said, they could show up here. Maybe Golden Sun? I can say Mario Tennis, but again, that's so much Mario. I guess I'll talk about Pokemon. Pokemon Legends ZA might see a dual release on Switch 2, but I feel like it's more going to be an upgrade of the Switch 1 version. Like, just sort of runs better. Like, those flat-ass building textures, those aren't going away. Good Feel, they put out Princess Peach Showtime last year, though I sincerely doubt that game took 5 years to make. So they might have something here, like something that they could put out next year. I mean, I really wanted a Yoshi's Woolly World port, but I don't think that's happening anymore. At least not for now. Grezzo, they put out the Echoes of Wisdom deal. Legend of Zelda Echoes of Wisdom last year. I don't think they have anything here, although they might also be working on that Tomodachi Life game. I don't know. They worked on the Miitopia port remaster. You know, they could be doing something. Maybe the small Zelda thing. HAL Laboratory. We haven't seen Kirby in a while, honestly. Last time we saw him was Kirby's Return to Dreamland Deluxe in over 2 years ago. We are kind of due for a new Kirby game. Like, I think we can get, like, maybe for Kirby and the Forgotten Lands sequel, like, next year, and then, like, a small spin-off sometime this year. It'd be interesting. Intelligent Systems, same deal. Like, we haven't got a Fire Emblem game since 2023, and that game has technically been finished since 2021. They've had 4 years. That Fire Emblem Genealogy the Holy War remake has been rumored for about that long. Where the hell is it? Oh, it'd be weird if it was a Switch 2 game. Like, I feel like they could be like a Switch 1 with like Switch 2 improvements. I really want to see that. And you know what? Yeah, let's do that. Although, I also think that it's also about time for like the next brand new Fire Emblem. I don't know. I don't really want to put that out both out so close to each other. That kind of sunk Fire Emblem Warriors 3 hopes. Still annoyed that they never did DLC for that game. Really needed it. Speaking of Warriors, Koei Tecmo. It's been a while since our last Warriors game, which was Fire Emblem Warriors 3 Hopes, like 3 years ago. And I do want them to do another one. I don't want them to do another Hyrule or Fire Emblem Warriors, though. I think kind of run that well dry, especially since we haven't really had a whole new Zelda locations and cast of characters since Age of Calamity, since Tears of the Kingdom just sort of reused a lot of them, just adding in Ganondorf and the Zonai. Xenoblade Warriors could fit really well. Not really sure what else would. I know they said they kind of want to do like a Mario Warriors, but I don't know how well that would fit with what Nintendo wants Mario to do. But then again, he's crossed over with the Rabbids twice and used cartoon guns, so who knows? Anything's possible. I don't know what's going on with Platinum Games, man. They're making Ninja Gaiden 4, which looks cool. Most of the creative forces there have left, so I don't know. I don't know what they're up to. Bayonetta 4 might be a thing, but again, Hideki Kamiya's left, and he's working on Okami 2 with Capcom. And it's funny because he left Capcom to go to Platinum, and they left Platinum to go to Capcom. Time is a flat circle. We already talked about Pokemon. I do want to see like a Pokken 2. Like Bandai Namco is probably the best thing to happen to Pokemon in a while, since like they made new Pokemon Snap and they made Pokken, and those look way better than anything the actual Pokemon developers Game Freak have been doing. I do want to see like a Pokken 2, like maybe a Pokemon Snap 3. That would be interesting, and that has sold better than Pokken, but I just like Pokken more. All right, we'll talk about Smash Brothers. Will we see it this year? No, there's already too much here. Next year at the absolute earliest. It would be, I don't know what they would do. Like, would they do like an Ultimate port? Maybe, but like, oh, those licenses, man. Like, even barring just the playable characters, there's also the licenses for all the spirits, because they have spirits for like Hades and No More Heroes and Story of Seasons and Monster Hunter and like a ton of other stuff. Rayman, he's a spirit. Shantae. That's a lot, and also the costumes. That might be more trouble than it's worth. It might just be better to just make a new game. And Sakurai said that he like started like working on his new project in 2022 after he finished up all of his YouTube channel videos. So he's had a good while to work on this. Smash games generally just sort of take a little under 3 years to make. At least that's sort of how long Brawl, Smash 4, and Ultimate took. But if he's taking longer, which I am not against, that man needs to spread out his work life more, because he's just always just the biggest workaholic like in the gaming industry. Although I would also like him to do like a Kid Icarus Uprising like remaster or sequel. Like that would be can you imagine a Kid Icarus Uprising sequel, especially with the mouse controls? That would be amazing. Honestly, if they just like remaster Kid Icarus Uprising with like HD visuals and give it mouse controls instead of the hand cramping touchscreen controls, it would be basically a perfect video game in my eyes. And that's basically all of them. I guess I will talk about third parties now. So third parties are sort of weird because they're simultaneously either all up in the air, but also we kind of know what to expect, or at least it's pretty easy to guess like what to expect. So I have my bingo sheet for the Switch 2 Direct up here, and with the third party stuff. So I'll just go down the list. Elden Ring I think is a lock. Like that is almost certainly coming. Like that would be the biggest power move of like this thing, to have like Elden Ring, basically the defining game of the 2020s so far. Like a lot of people, it's like game of the generation to have that running on Switch 2, because Elden Ring runs on PS4. Like and Switch 2 is like between like PS4 PS4 Pro, it can absolutely run Elden Ring. Same with Final Fantasy VII Remake. People are saying Remake and Rebirth will come. I don't know how well Rebirth's gonna do, and mostly it's because of load times. Rebirth, one of the reasons Rebirth works so well on PS5 is because it doesn't have those little slide through corridor stuff that Remake had to disguise load times, so it could like load like all the world here and not like struggle. That's gonna be really tricky on Switch, but Remake completely doable. That can absolutely run. Marvel Rivals. This should probably happen. I don't know if NetEase has the Switch 2 dev kits, but like Marvel Rivals is graphically simple enough that if the online works, which I don't know. I mean, Overwatch is on Switch. There's no reason Marvel Rivals can't be. I have Monster Hunter Wilds here, although considering how it doesn't run the best on PS5, I don't know, but like Japanese devs really need that Switch money, because like the Japanese gamers especially are like, I just want to play my Switch. Like granted, Monster Hunter Wilds saw a big increase in PS5 sales, but like I imagine like sales would be even higher if it also released on Switch too. Baldur's Gate 3, this is just something I really want, because like I love Baldur's Gate 3 so much, and I really, really want to play it like on the go, especially with like the mouse controls, because like, yeah, moving through the menus is kind of cumbersome with a PS5 controller, and I don't have a PC. And I just really want to play it for like long stretches of time without having to like sit in front of my TV with the PS5 controller's terrible battery life. Do I think it'll happen? I don't know. I remember like they had to like make some sacrifice to work on the Xbox Series S. Like I think multiplayer was cut, which blows because I really want to try out multiplayer. But you know, I think they can make it work. Baldur's Gate 1 and 2 and their expansions are all on Switch 1, so I don't see why not. Persona 3 Reload, I feel like this could have come to Switch 1. I think it will absolutely come to Switch 2, especially since Persona 5 Royal did really well on Switch. In a similar vein, Metaphor Refantasio, I don't think it'll look or run as nice as it does on PS5, but I think Metaphor will come over. Doom the Dark Ages, this is one that a lot of people are pointing to for evidence for a potential May 15th like release date, because not only does it line up with like some like Lego releases and the Nintendo store in California, but also that's when Doom the Dark Ages comes out. And since Doom 2016 and Doom Eternal were on Switch, Doom the Dark Ages could theoretically come to Switch 2, and it could be date and date since Bethesda really likes this system. Street Fighter 6 is coming. It just will. It is kind of weird that like Switch 1 never got Street Fighter 5, although that might have been for the best. But like it'd be, especially since I believe Elena will be out by then. She's the final character of Season 2, and that could coincide with like a re-release called like Super Street Fighter 6, which will come with like everything in the base game plus Season 1 and 2 of DLC, and it'll be good time for the announcement of Season 3. Which I have no idea who they're going to add. Halo the Master Chief Collection. There have been so many rumors of Halo, like, coming out. Like, we know Microsoft is definitely going to try to support things. I don't have Hi-Fi Rush on here for some reason. Why don't I have Hi-Fi Rush? I think Hi-Fi Rush is almost certainly going to come. As will Sea of Thieves. Like, that'll be really fun on the go, Sea of Thieves. But, like, Halo, that'll be the ultimate power move for, like, aside from Elden Ring. It's like, hey, yeah, this like flagship Microsoft franchise, yeah, you can play it on Nintendo. I remember there was like talks of like a Halo game being made for the DS, but that obviously never really came to be. So it'd be really cool. I have GTA 5 here because Rockstar can always release GTA 5 again. GTA 6 is not running on Switch. I don't care what anyone's saying, it is not running on Switch 2. That game's gonna like challenge PS5, so I guarantee that. But yeah, GTA 5, it never came to Switch 1 because of like cartridge size limitations. GTA 5 is massive. Like, graphically, it can absolutely run. If I'm gonna be honest, GTA 5 doesn't really look graphically all that great. I think Red Dead Redemption looks a lot better than it, actually. But I think, like, cartridge sizes should be a lot larger on Switch 2, and so GTA 5 can probably come over. I have Metal Gear Solid Delta Snake Eater. I remember hearing rumors about it coming. Not really sure how well it'll run, since the Metal Gear Solid Master Collection kind of ran like crap. And those are remasters of PS1 and PS2 games. But it would still be cool if we got Snake Eater. Like, especially since the 3DS got Snake Eater 3D. Red Dead Redemption 2, I think this was leaked by like retail. But yeah, Red Dead Redemption 1 is on Switch. Red Dead Redemption 2 coming to Switch 2 would be great. That would be really fun. It'll give me a chance to try the game, because I love Red Dead Redemption 1. I've never actually tried Red Dead 2. Kingdom Hearts 4, this is a total dream pick. It was announced 3 years ago, and we saw gameplay, and I was like, okay, maybe we won't have to wait as long for, like, more stuff on it. We've heard nothing since, because as Kingdom Hearts fans, we are fucking battered and so very tired, but we will keep on just hoping beyond hope. Speaking of hoping beyond hope, Hollow Knight Silksong. I remember people were thinking, maybe it could show up in this direct. That'd be cool. But it didn't happen. I think it might be at the Switch 2 direct, though, especially since like we've been getting actual stuff relating to it, like happening like multiple days a week. You know that channel, Daily Silksong News, had 3 not quite no's in like a week. There were 2 maybes and 1 no but. And like I feel like that might be going something like I don't have any clown makeup to put on, but like I can do it figuratively if I'm wrong. Something I don't think I'll be wrong on is Tekken 8. Again, that's another thing that I think was leaked via like retail. That'd be interesting because like while Street Fighter 6 runs on PS4, Tekken 8 does not. It's a PS5, Xbox, PC exclusive. So that'll be interesting, especially since mainline Tekken just has never really been on Nintendo. Like, we've had Tekken Tag Tournament 2 on the Wii U, which had those costumes, and like that's it. There's Tekken Advance on the GBA, but like, does that count? No. Also, Namco, can you just like re-release the older Tekkens? You don't need to do 7. Like, 7 is probably impossible because of all the licensing for like the guest characters. But like 1 through 5, I think that's doable. Well, but Namco doesn't really like re-releasing a lot of their games. Like, we got a Pac-Man World remake, but like none of the other Pac-Man stuff has come over. Yeah, whatever. Star Wars Jedi Fallen Order. I just put this one here instead of Survivor just because Fallen Order comes first. I think it'll happen. It's a PS4 game. It can run. It will be able to run on Switch too. Resident Evil 4 remake. I just put this one here. I think all of them will fully natively come over instead of stupid cloud versions. I put Resident Evil 4 because that's just the newest one and the only one that isn't already on Switch via cloud version. I have Psychonauts 2 here for some reason. That'll be cool. It is on PlayStation as well as Xbox. Don't really have anything to say. I do think it'll fit quite well, similar to how like Cuphead benefits. Sonic Racing Crossroads. I just kind of want to have something Sonic here. Weird that it wasn't in the Switch 1 presentation, especially since it'll probably run on it. But like, if you want to show like good looking footage, yeah, you probably want to do Switch 2, especially with the Crossroads mechanic where you just sort of seamlessly transition from like one location to another, which might be hard on Switch. I have Alan Wake 2 here for some reason. Don't get me wrong, like I love Alan Wake 2, but like I'm not sure how well that game's gonna. That's another game that I don't think is like on PS4 or Xbox One. I think it's on Steam Deck though. I could be wrong. I don't know. But I just it's another one I just really want to see because like this is another amazing game and Remedy has still not earned a profit on that game despite it being their best-selling game. Just let more people buy it. Let more people experience this amazing, insane video game. The Final Fantasy IX remake. Where the hell is this? We've been hearing about this for like 5 years and like it still hasn't shown up. I think the Switch 2 event is the perfect place to show it. I'm really hoping it is more like a classic remake. Like, it's not going to be like the Final Fantasy VII remake. It will not. I think this will be more of a straight remake. But I do want to see like more cinematic style cutscenes. I want to see full voice acting. Like, it'd be nice if we see Bryce Papenbrook and JD Cullum come back from Dissidia to voice their characters again. Don't know who they'd get to voice everyone else. Well, like, I would love to hear like those songs remixed with like live instrumentation. Like, can you imagine how beautiful the Not Alone song from like close to the end of the game would be? Kuja's big final battle themes is like kick-ass. Like, it is so good. I have Indiana Jones and the Great Circle here. Again, I don't know why. I mean, it's coming to PS5 like I think next month. I haven't actually played it since I don't own an Xbox. I will be getting it on PS5 though because I've heard it's really good and I'm a big Indiana Jones fan. A big fan of the good movies, that is. And last here I have Visions of Mana. They should have made a Switch version at the start because it did not do well and the people who made the game went under very shortly after it came out. Almost certainly because like they just didn't make a Switch version and most people who want to play something like this are Switch owners. I don't really have an indie section because, well, they're always kind of a wild card, but like that's sort of what I have. That's kind of what I think we'll see. Like, I have no idea how long this thing is going to be. I'm hoping it'll be at bare minimum an hour because they also have to talk about the console itself and like go over how everything works, what the heck that C button does, the price, release date, you know, all that. I'm hoping we have like at least a large amount of time for games. And since this won't be live, we won't have to worry about trends later. Just completely not knowing what to do when Suda51 comes on stage. But yeah, it'll be really fun. I am very much looking forward to it. See you guys next week then, I guess.